Hello, I'm Emma Howard and I'm joined by Dr. Jonty Heaversedge, who's an expert on men's health problems. Hello, Jonty.
Hi, Emma.
Jonty, I've got a question from a man who's recently had a baby with his wife, and he feels that his wife is bonding really well with their new little girl. But he says, I'm finding it hard to connect with her, meaning his wife, and I feel as if my wife is pushing me away. What can I do to feel more like a part of the family? Actually, I think he's also saying he's finding it hard to bond with the baby as well. So he's clearly feeling a bit left out altogether, isn't he?
Yeah, and I guess this must be hard for a lot of men. I mean, we don't hear a lot about this in general practice, I think only because men very often would find it very hard to talk about this. But particularly, I think, if mums are breastfeeding, men tend to feel a bit redundant. I mean, they don't have that same connection, I guess. And it's interesting, there's always this assumption that women have a biological connection with the child that men don't.
And often women struggle when they have newborns, and so yes, they can be in trouble too,
They
but
really
men are
do.
assuming they've got that natural connection.
Absolutely, and I think men just assume that they don't. But there's been some interesting research that has shown that actually men's hormone levels, expectant fathers' hormone levels, actually also change as the birth approaches of a child. So there are biological changes in a man as well that it's important to bear in mind. And I think, you know, men are forgotten about sometimes in this way. I mean, for this guy, obviously the first thing it's important to say is that he needs to talk to his partner about it, because she may not even be aware of the fact that he's feeling somewhat left out and he's worried about bonding with the baby. And then it's just really important to do as much as possible together. And the baby needs to get used to your voice, so talk to the baby, get used to your smell and feel, so as much skin-to-skin contact.
So take off
really
your
important.
shirt. If he's got a shirt on
Take
like
your
yours,
shirt off,
take it off, put the baby
take
just
it
there.
off, put the baby there, because the baby gets used to your smell, and that's one of the ways in which the baby bonds, particularly in the first sort of 6 weeks of life. So really important to do that. And I guess all the usual things, changing nappies, bathing the baby, it just helps you develop that sort of bond. But it is important, and yeah, I wish him well, because it's hard.
It is hard. I know that some of the books that are there for new parents often say that even if the mother is breastfeeding, perhaps she could pump some breast milk, put it in a bottle for one of the feeds to help her get some more sleep. Sleep is, you know, thin on the ground with a newborn around.
Absolutely.
And perhaps maybe a late feed could be given to the dad.
Yeah.
So breast milk in a bottle, not always easy to do, but it does work for some fathers. No, it gives them that connection.
It does, absolutely, to express breast milk, and then it can actually be stored, so that perhaps during the night, if mum wants to sleep, dad can give baby a feed. And sure, that's okay. Sometimes babies struggle with getting used to changing from breast to a bottle and to the rubber teat. So it doesn't always work ideally, but yeah, for sure, I think
it's
that's
something you can try. For some couples, I know it can work out and gives the dad that special time alone
completely with
the baby. But yes, it's a tough time anyway, isn't it, with a newborn
it's
in
hard
the house?
It's hard for mum, dad, and for baby.
Yes, exhaustion doesn't help, but you do get through it. You do get through it, and we hope that if you have a similar problem, we may have given you some help. But remember, it's always best to go and see your own doctor for medical advice. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more health questions and answers.